Welcome back to Sports Today. I'm Rajeshri Gupta. Of course, I'll be joined by Boria Mujumdar in minutes. But what a night for Chennai Super Kings fans. Well, Chennai Super Kings failed to reach the playoffs last season. They were really poor in the 2020 season. Their fans stuck by them, the management stuck by those players, and MS Dhoni has delivered Chennai Super Kings into their ninth IPL final. The ninth time, believe it or not. This is the power of the Chennai Super Kings and MS Dhoni. Vintage stroke play there towards the end from MS Dhoni. He turned the clock back and executed some of those shots that would have brought back memories of the old, not just for CSK fans, but for MS Dhoni fans. It's no secret, Dhoni was struggling with the bat for the last couple of seasons, but boy, oh boy, he came out ahead of Ravindra Jadeja and Dwayne Bravo in a stiff chase in the first qualifier against Delhi Capitals against a good bowling attack. Chennai Super Kings, remember, were chasing 173. They, of course, were in a strong position after that partnership between Ruturaj Gaikwad. By the way, what a young player he's turning out to be. And Robin Uthappa, who scored his first half century for the Chennai Super Kings. Fantastic partnership, but Shardul Thakur was promoted up the order. Didn't work out. Boria is all smiles, and I know why he's smiling. He doesn't care whether Chennai Super Kings reach the final or KKR do. He's smiling because of the vintage Dhoni performance tonight. Boria, take it away.
I'm smiling because ultimately each one of us want a performance like this because we don't want Dhoni to go down as just a captain. We want the game to win. See, for me, this was cricket gods shining it on their favorite son, giving it to him one final time, telling him, go mate, do it. That Chinese cut going for four, that was lucky. We know that. We know Avish Khan was bowling a pack of rubbish. We know that. We know all that. But the fact of the matter is 18 runs of 6 balls. Social media has exploded. The game has won. Whether or not Delhi lost, I don't care. They can lose. Who cares? Chennai has won, great. But MS Dhoni finishing it off has done it a million times in the past, but not recently. None of us believed he could do it 18 or 6 balls. None of us believed. When he came in and I was like, why not Jadeja? Absolutely, I said, why not Jadeja? But that's why the sport is greater than anybody. It wanted to give it to MS, and I was missing Ravi. I was missing Ravi's commentary. And Dhoni finishes it in style. The party is about to begin. Love
Right,
it.
absolutely.
The fact that MS Dhoni managed to do it for himself and for Chennai and for his legion of fans made my night. Good Durga Puja.
Absolutely. Good Durga Puja. In fact, it was just like the good old times, right? MS Dhoni does it calmly. The Chennai dressing room is exploding. Everybody applauding, and Dhoni calmly walks off. After that last boundary to seal CSK's win, Dhoni calmly walks out into the dressing room, and that's business as usual. Only the ninth time CSK have made the final. But we'll come to Delhi Capitals as well. But Boria, what a knock from Ruturaj Gaikwad. What a young player he's turning out to be. Just amazing. Only the third CSK batsman to score over 600 runs in a single IPL season, of course, alongside Ambati Raidu, Mike Hussey, and Robin Uthappa. Good for him as well. Great guy, great player. And finally, half century for the Super Kings.
Absolutely, and today is the turning the clock night. I mean, turning the clock, Dhoni turning the clock, Robbie Uthappa turning the clock. But the best part was that red dye actually leaked into his helmet. So, Rajeshi, I will tell you, let's all try that. I mean, for the first time, I saw hair dye leaking into the helmet. Not bad. But Robbie Uthappa, some great shots. And I'm delighted because he's a great guy. He's a good human being. If you know Robbie well, I do. I've got great fond memories. I mean, every time I've chatted with him, I've ended up feeling good about it. He's a nice guy. He deserved it. But if you really pause, you mentioned the Delhi Capitals. You did not finish Kagiso Rabada, 3 overs for 23. You went to Avesh Khan when he was bowling a pack of nonsense. Clearly from that last match, his confidence is not even half there compared to the Avesh Khan that was right through the tournament leading the pack. I was quite taken aback. The fact that he went to Avesh Khan after that 18th over, that was a brave Rishabh Pant call, clearly backfired. I thought Delhi should have won this, and I'm being candid. I thought Delhi should have won this. They should have been able to defend this. Even when Ruturaj Gaikwad got out, I thought this is their game now. Delhi has to win this from here. So to not win this, it will be a big blow for Rishabh Pant and his team to come out of. Can they do that? will test their mettle. As far as Chennai is concerned, they got out of jail. Mahendra Singh Dhoni, 18 of 6 balls, is not expected. Happened on the night for two reasons. One, as I said, great man, confidence. He came out ahead of Jadeja, showing confidence, but he was lucky as well. But when you think about Rishabh and captaincy in Delhi, you can think that, oh, you know what, this could have been done, this could have been done, this could have been done. Moeen Ali, even that Ruturaj dismissal was a full toss. Think of the next ball, another full toss. At one point, I counted out of 10 balls that he bowled, 8 were full tosses from Avesh Khan.
Yeah. And they did not even try the short pitch deliveries to Uthappa and Ruturaj Gaikwad. Uthappa was out of form before this game. Ruturaj Gaikwad, of course, he takes his time. Everybody knows he takes his time before he explodes. Did not try those short balls, and they have successfully tried the same tactics against someone like Suresh Raina, who they knew was struggling. Captaincy issues, and also the other point was Akshar Patel coming in ahead of Shimron Hetmeyer, Rishabh Pant. Understandably, left-right combination. What was Rishabh Pant doing down the order? And then like you mentioned, Akshar Patel didn't bowl his over as quote-off overs as well. Avesh Khan was completely off the mark. It's just about Rishabh Pant, Korea also management, the coaching staff. Ricky Ponting is very fulfilling, but he will be also, he should also be asked some questions tonight.
Absolutely. Has to be everybody. I mean, not Rishabh Pant alone. Definitely not.
No.
But my point is, you are going to Tom Curran. Think about it. MS Dhoni at this stage of his life, 150 Ks of Kagiso Rabada. Will that unsettle him? Or will 125 dibbly-dobbly slowish bowling of Tom Curran unsettle him? So what if he got 3 wickets? Yeah. So what? What is this logic in the post-match interview? Rishabh Pant was saying, oh, Tom Curran had a great night. So damn what? I mean, you're going to MS Dhoni, for God's sake. MS Dhoni, Kagiso Rabada, short ball, Yorkers. Rabada and his Yorkers. You got Dhoni and Jadeja who's not even faced a ball. That was a missing the trick. And if Rishabh was going to be, that's where Ricky could have sent a message. That's where Praveen could have sent a message. So it's a collective call. I thought Delhi Capitals made mistakes, but then you make mistakes so that the other team wins. That's how can they come back?
Yeah, can they come back? That was my next question, because they're going to take on either of RCB or KKR. And what do you make of that lineup? Because RCB have got the groove. Kona Bharat firing, Glenn Maxwell firing. They have a good all-round bowling attack. And of course, the Kolkata Knight Riders as well. And that's going to be a really tricky affair. It's not as easy. They were suddenly number one. And what does it do to a team? Suddenly, you've been dominating the entire tournament. First leg, second leg. And suddenly, one bad match and all your efforts from the entire league campaign could come to nothing.
Very similar to last year. Think about it. Fag end of the campaign, loss. Then they won and made the final, loss again. Very similar to last year. Delhi Capitals, business end of the tournament, for some reason, not being able to take the pressure. Today, for example, you can actually analyze the game and figure out that, they were giving it away. When Ruturaj Gaikwad got out, I thought they would have sealed the game. To go to Tom Curran when you are defending 13 and you got an MS Dhoni out there, not to go to Rabada. For God's sake, Rabada. He will bowl short, he will bowl Yorkers. Rabada, 145, 150, one of the best bowlers in the world. He went to Tom Curran. And you said KKR and RCB. Trust me, KKR is looking the most dangerous team in this tournament. Most dangerous. And RCB will go in with that psychological edge if they come in there, because they've beaten Delhi Capitals with that Kona Bharat 6. So Delhi Capitals all of a sudden absolutely starting to look iffy. But such is cricket. Can they recuperate? Can they get back? Take it all in, come back and soak in the pressure and perform again? We've got to wait and see. But this loss will hurt big time.
I'm sure this was Rishabh Pant's body language in that post-match presentation ceremony also said a lot. We'll dissect the CSK's chances in the final. They have won it thrice. MS Dhoni is used to winning big tournaments, but a lot of questions, and I was coming to that as well. A lot of questions on R. Ashwin from our viewers. You worried about R. Ashwin now? He's just looking very ordinary warrior. Rahul Chahar, completely ordinary. Akshar Patel, there or thereabouts. Ravindra Jadeja bowling well in patches. Who's going to be that spinner? Varun Chakravarti is the only regular spinner who's doing well consistently.
No, I think Akshar Patel has had a good tournament. I mean, today, except 1 over, he bowled well. 1 over was bad. Otherwise, the 2 overs that he bowled, 3 overs he bowled for 23. And when you're sort of defending a 170 plus. That's okay. That's par. And again, there could have been a caught chance of Akshar Patel. Akshar Patel, I think, is fine. I'm not too worried about Akshar Patel. I am about Ravi Ashwin. You know what? I actually think Ravi Ashwin, someone should tell him he's just too good an off spinner not to bowl that offie more.
Yeah.
You know, every time he comes in and he bowls that carom ball, every time he will bowl a faster one and a slider, not needed. All you need to do is bowl that off spin more, stop ball more. I mean, bowl that. And then use the carom ball, then use the slider, the floater, the flipper, rarely. But what Ashwin is doing is trying to do 6 different balls. First ball, he almost fell like this. If you see, he fell like this and bowled. Why? Because he did not want to give flight so that the elevation wouldn't come. Why? You're Ravichandran Ashwin, for God's sake. So that is a problem. That is definitely a problem as far as India is concerned. But Akshar is okay as far as I am concerned. Akshar is okay, Jadeja is okay, Varun's okay. So I'm not that bothered. But Ashwin, yes, I am concerned about Ashwin's form. Someone needs to sit him down. Ricky needs to sit him down and say, mate, you're just too good. Don't go and do 6 balls 6 different ways. Not needed. Bowl your stock ball. What has made Ravi Ashwin? That off spin. That ball. That has gotten him 400 test wickets and many IPL wickets. Just bowl that. He's just too good an off spinner.
And even if Ricky Ponting doesn't sit him down, I hope at least MS Dhoni, Ravi Shastri, Virat Kohli, they sit him down before the World Cup campaign starts. That's going to be so critical, Ashwin, if he's there in part of the playing 11. There's another one from Rahul Reddy on Avesh Khan. You mentioned how poorly he bowled. Avesh Khan's confidence got hit from the last match, and this is IPL. It can make you a hero and zero the same season. You think that last ball 6 had something to do with his form and confidence?
Absolutely. If you see the number of times he bowled a full toss, I was counting 8 full tosses of 11 balls.
Yeah.
Outside of Moeen Ali widening the bat 4. Leg stump full toss gone. Then multiple times he was bowling poor balls. He was trying to land the Yorker and it wasn't happening for him. Something that was happening with amazing regularity till that Mumbai Indians game when he cleaned up a Hardik Pandya, for example. 141k Yorker in that match. For some reason, it can happen. And Avesh Khan is a young man and he's lost confidence. That's where your captain needs to kind of protect you. He was not in his element. And that's when Rishabh Pant goes to him in an over where maybe he should have not gone to him. He should have gone to Rabada and given the maximum number of runs to the last. If he had Tom Curran in mind, now think about it. If you really had Tom Curran in mind for your last over, in this form, what did Rishabh Pant say? Rishabh Pant said in the post-match press conference, rather in the presentation, that Tom Curran was having a great night, so I went to him. Okay. Now, who was having the worst night? Avesh Khan. Now, why did you go to Avesh Khan in the 19th? You should have gone to Rabada, no? Give Rabada and then go to Curran. Clearly, that would have shown me a thought process that Rabada will build up the runs and then Curran will come and defend or try to defend. Why did you not go to Rabada and go to Avesh Khan? Because that you were confused. Again, it can happen. But that is when the management should also step in. That's why you're there in the dugout. All you need is somebody to come and say, oh, you know what, 19th Rabada, 20th Curran, if you're going in with that thought process. I thought Rabada should definitely have rolled his foot.
Yeah, and what a waste it would turn out to be. It turns out to be at the end, right? He still had 1 over to go. And it's just, and Rabada is used to that. He's used to that kind of pressure.
Yeah.
Avesh Khan and Tom Curran are not. That's something that they'll have to definitely look at. Ronald Jain, I'll take one last question before we go, Boria. He's making a point about any other team after losing 3 wickets in 7 balls would have collapsed, and here CSK still had Bravo and Chahar chasing against them is the best bet to defeat them. But truly, it's also a lot about mental strength and knowing what you're doing in a big match, and nobody knows that better than the Super Kings in this fray of the playoffs.
The fact that MS Dhoni came out in itself is a statement. I'm telling you, when he came out, like many, I thought, oh, you know what is the mistake? You should have sent Jadeja.
Yeah.
And by the way, that should have been the logical thing to do. Today it came off. But in this form, in this part of his career, maybe 7 out of 10 times or 8 out of 10 times, he wouldn't be able to pull this off. But the fact that he came out was in itself a statement of intent that I can still do it. I'm backing myself to do it. Remember that story he told me? That when I backed the last over, I've told you this, when I backed the last over, आप लोग सोचते हो 16 रन है, अरे बाप रे 16 रन है, बॉलर सोच रहा है MS धोनी को डाल रहा है. And I was, the moment he came out, I was thinking that he's going to think, Tom Curran will think, who is he bowling to? He's bowling to MS Dhoni. Avesh Khan will think, who is he bowling to? He's bowling to MS Dhoni, and they will make mistakes because I will not. Those were his words, and they started ringing true in my ears. Great words, great man. I'm glad that the cricketing gods showered it on him maybe one final time with the bat.
No, absolutely. I mean, in fact, thinking of the story you told me just when Dhoni came out, for a moment I was baffled. I had of Jadeja, Bravo, is that the right move? But then, yeah, MS Dhoni is MS Dhoni. And like you said, Kagiso Rabada, he might not have had those nerves. He might have failed, but that would have at least given them the best chance at victory. But we'll come back. A lot of questions about Kolkata Knight Riders. Can they make it to the final? Boria, we'll of course discuss KKR and RCB in depth tomorrow because this is not going to be easy for either of KKR and RCB. They have to meet Delhi Capitals would be really hurting from this game tonight. But both Bore and I are smiling because of the vintage Dhoni show. I mean, it's nothing against Delhi Capitals fans. We're not pro Chennai Super Kings. It was just great to see MS Dhoni come out and go ballistic like that. And remember, he's mentoring the Indian cricket team for the T20 World Cup. And it's good. It's almost a good way to sign off the IPL. One more match for the Chennai Super Kings. One more match for MS Dhoni in the 2021 Indian Premier League. Can they win it the fourth time? Which of KKR, RCB, and DC will now join them in the final? This, of course, it will all unfold. The story will unfold over the next few days, and you will track all of that and more on Sports Today. Thank you so much. Have a good night, and do subscribe to Sports Today. Thank you.